Hello and welcome to the Other 14 FC podcast. I'm Alex, Crystal Palace fan.
And I'm Tom, a sufferer of West Ham United.
And this is your podcast for everything, not top six. Tired of your team being last in the match of the day, not getting the flowers they deserve. Well, that's about change. Tom, what do we have for the listeners this, not week, 3-day period since we last put it?
Well, Tuesday had a double Desmond. Thursday, all the goals dried up. There were wins for Newcastle and Everton. Wolves got their third point of the season, and we probably have an extended edition of Sad 0-0 Corner this week.
Yeah, so many nil-nils. Well, I'll just say Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year to yourself. Tom, you have a good New Year's Eve. Did you do anything exciting?
No, as I said before, New Year's Eve is a awful night out. I stayed at home and watched films and played a video game that I'm currently obsessed with called Claire Obscure Expedition 33. It feels like one of those games that's going to be I'm going to be playing for about 100 hours. So yeah, just making my way through. What about you, man?
Yeah, I want to call you a nerd, but I went to my mate's house and played Ocarina of Time for 8 hours straight. So I think both of us are proper nerds from this podcast right now.
Bad as each other.
Yeah, exactly that. But cool, okay, let's take a break and then get into the pod.
Let's do it.
Okay, and we're back. So, Tom, where do you want to start? With one of the 3 nil-nils, maybe?
We'll save the nil-nils for the end. There were only a couple of wins, including other 14 teams. So let's start with Burnley 1, Newcastle 3. Pretty fast start from Newcastle, I'd say. They scored. Joe Linton hooked one in inside 2 minutes, and then Visser tapped one in 7 minutes later, and it felt almost like game over.
Well, I was thinking that. I mean, Visser probably scores the scrappiest goal we've seen all season. Like, absolutely ridiculous. But I was thinking, yeah, well, you see those two go in, game over, you think in your head. But, I mean, Burnley stayed in it, really. They got one back from London, and then they had their chances to make it 2-2 throughout the game. And I think they were a bit unlucky, maybe, to leave without a point.
Yeah, I think this has been sort of typical of Burnley's good performances this season, where they've created plenty of chances and haven't just put the ball in the back of the net enough. It's a really nice goal by Laurent, like really nice finish. But you're right, they had plenty more chances after that. I thought Edwards, Laurent and Chouna were excellent in this game. They were really exciting. They were bombing forward. They were getting shots away. They did run into a big wall in Nick Pope, which I think Newcastle fans are going to be very happy that he's back to replace Aaron Ramsdale, because he made some absolute massive saves in this one. But yeah, Burnley definitely did enough to damage Newcastle. It felt like 2-0 was probably game over, but yeah, Burnley came back into it. Their heads didn't drop. They just couldn't quite get that second goal to get back on level terms. I've seen a rumour that Scott Parker might get replaced with Gary O'Neill. What do you think?
Oh, that's a weird one. Gary O'Neill? No, he can't, can he?
Well, he might be. I mean, I think we've all been semi-waiting for Scott Parker to get fired from Burnley this season, because it just feels like Scott Parker can't do it at the Premier League, and, you know, Burnley are in the relegation zone. I don't think they've been terrible, but they have been on... this is a long winless streak for them now. Yeah, they got a couple of draws there, but... They haven't won a game in I think at least 8 matches, so it's not really a surprise that the Burnley bosses are looking to make one roll of the dice at some point. But as I say, they're creating chances, they're just not scoring enough, so it doesn't really seem like a tactics issue. It feels kind of more like a quality of play of like finishing off the chances issue for me.
That's kind of what it feels like, isn't it? It's kind of stick and twist at the moment, and if I was Burnley, I'd probably stick, because I think they're doing the right things on the pitch. It's just getting that ball into the back of the net. And I mean, they did have a couple of defensive calamities in this one for the second and third goal, didn't they? So I think he's had a better go at it, Scott Parker, than he's done in the Prem before. And if I was Burnley, I wouldn't be too... I mean, I'd be worried with the points right now, but I wouldn't be worried about the performances. And I think they're turning it around a bit. I mean, again, it's a hard one. It is actually a hard one for Burnley, I think, big time. Be good to hear what Burnley fans are thinking at the moment, because there were those scrappy games that they lost against, well, us, I mean, which they should have probably got something out of. This one they should have got something out of again. It's just a bit like, they can't be making those mistakes at the back, I guess, and be winning these games. But it's crazy, because defence was what they were there what their success was built on last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and their defence basically got decimated in the summer, and they've had to sort of repiece it all together, and with the goalkeeper change as well. So it was always going to be a difficult challenge, but it was interesting because they have been, as I say, they've been creating chances in plenty of these games where you probably would have expected them to be more defensively solid, but at times they've been quite a mess defensively. Like in this one, as you say, like for a couple of them goals, they were just all over the place. Like the Visser one, no one can get a clearance on it. Might be a little bit of a barge by Guimaraes in the build up to that one on Josh Laurent. I think it would have been soft, but as a Burnley fan, you're probably screaming for that.
I think it would have been soft. I think it's one of those where I look, if, like I say many times, if that happened to me, I'd probably be like, maybe the defender needs to be a bit stronger there. Is that harsh on him? Maybe. I think it's too soft to be given a foul there and like to overturning the goal.
Yeah, no, I think so too. And then at the end of the match, Dubravka just makes a absolute howler. I think he just gets completely pressured by Voltemada and the oncoming defender, and just doesn't clear his lines properly, and leads to a lovely Guimaraes strike into an empty net kind of situation. And yeah, Newcastle, they probably deserve to win this game overall. They rode their luck at times. They had to do some last ditch defending when it was 2-1, and
that's
definitely
Shaw clear off the line, isn't it? That makes it two. That's when you're watching it and thinking, shit, Burnley get that, then who knows what they could get out of the game. But yeah, like you say, last ditch defending there to keep them in it for sure.
Yeah. So big win for Newcastle. Get that monkey off their back around the away wins. Like nice way to end the year for Newcastle. But yeah, worrying times for Burnley.
Yeah, was it only their second away win this season for Newcastle, which is crazy to think. I think just to hold on Newcastle a little bit longer, I think Wissa looked quite busy for them, and it looks like he is actually going to be a good option for them, like either coming off the bench or giving Voltemada a break, doesn't it? I was a bit questionable if he'd actually be able to make a difference, but in this game, yeah, he definitely did.
Yeah, and I definitely think they need the options as well, because they've been having to run Voltemada into the ground since he signed, and the plan was always to slow progress Voltemada because he's young, coming over from a different league sort of thing. The plan was always to start with Visser and then bring Voltemada on, like progress throughout the season. Obviously, with Visser's injury, they had to switch that plan up, and Voltemada has made the most of his chances. I think he's looked really good, but I'm sure Eddie Howe would still like Visser to be probably his starting striker for most of the rest of the season, but being able to bring them on and interchange them probably at times, but play both of them, because Visser can definitely play with someone up top, as we saw at his Brentford times. So yeah, I think Visser, now he's finally over that long injury, we'll finally start to see what he looks like in a Newcastle shirt, and yeah, getting his first Premier League goal for Newcastle was a great way to start.
Yeah, 100%. Anything else you really want to touch on that game? I think there's not too much to dig into many of these games, is there? Because it's all just that Christmas period where it's all a bit mad and teams are kind of just falling by the wayside. Well, not falling by the wayside, but just running out of steam. And I think even us talking about games has run out of steam in this period.
No, yeah, let's move on to another win for the other 14. And Dyche has lost both battles of the Dyche derby, as you called it, with Forest losing 2-0 to Everton.
Yeah, 5-0 in aggregate now over those two games as well. I was going to say Moyes and Everton really have Forest's number in this. But yeah, I think main person to pick up from this game was Gardner for Everton. Would you agree?
100%. Yeah, James Garner was absolutely sensational in this one. Really nice move for his goal. Great assist by Dwight McNeil, and then Garner almost had a thunder bastard into the top corner later in the match, and then he turned provider for Barry with just one of the most beautiful line splitting passes you'll see. Like,
I think he beats the player, doesn't he? And then the line splitting pass to put it basically on a plate for Barry, who even Barry ain't missing that.
No, and I'm sure Everton and Barry want to play Forest every week, because they've had two wins out of the last 5 Premier League games for Everton, and both of them were against Forest. So, and Barry scored in both of them. So I'm sure they're desperate to play Forest every week. But I'm sure Dyche will be very pissed off about how both of those goals happened, because yes, they are sensational balls, but it's not great defending either. Like, to be cut open that easily, like a hot knife through butter, just like because both of them are pretty much just running through on goal with no defender anywhere near them. So I'm sure Dyche will be annoyed at that.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams are just built on really being defensively solid, and Dyche's team has not showed that in this game at all, which is a worrying thing. And then up front, they only really had half chances through a Zinchenko free kicker, Douglas Luiz shot, a Jesus poke, and a Williams long shot. But apart from that, the Everton defence was just staying strong the whole time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Forest definitely didn't challenge Jordan Pickford well enough in this game. It was either misses or comfortably sort of straight at him. Like the Zinchenko free kick is comfortably saved. Like you expect Pickford to, there's not enough pace on it to get over the wall and make Pickford actually dive for anything. He gets there quite comfortably, and I thought Anderson was good for Forest, similar to James Garner. Like he was kind of running things in the centre of the park, getting forward, getting back, like typical Elliot Anderson game, like one of his best sort of thing. But outside of that, yeah, it was a frustrating one for Forest. They didn't quite click in attack. I think it was the chances that they did create were a little bit sort of chaotic, like that Igor one that he's kind of just like scrambling around in the box and manages to get his shot off kind of thing. It didn't feel as precise as Forest have done it in certain games.
But no, we say with Forest though, they just turned up. They turned up for the City game, didn't they? And then they disappear for this one again, and it's just going to be that flip flop. It feels like throughout the whole season. And do you think they'll be able to amass enough points with that form now to be able to stay up?
Well, I hope not. Sorry, Forest fans. I need someone to get dragged down in here, and unfortunately, guys, it's you. But yeah, no, I mean, until we see a run from Forest of consistent results, which is probably unlikely at this point, given what we've seen so far in the season, and even under Dyche, where they've blown hot and cold, it's going to be difficult for them to like get on a run and to sort of get themselves clear of the relegations like scrap. There's going to be ebbs and flows. We've hit the halfway point of the season. There's a lot of football still to be played. They might well be comfortable. They might get dragged sort of slightly more into it. It's difficult to say. The Forest are a really tricky team to predict who's going to turn up. Like unless we follow the pattern of, hey, they're playing a big team, they're probably going to give them a result.
It's 3 losses in a row, so they are kind of getting dragged back into that after that period where I think you were squirming a little bit when they got that little buffer. But yeah, I mean, Everton did what Everton do. They frustrate a team, and if they score first, they're most likely going to give up more chances still, but still hold strong and really annoy you. And I know that feeling Forest fans probably left the City ground on when was this yesterday, and just being like, how did we not get anything out of that game? All we did was have like chances, and all they did was block. But that's what Everton do to you, isn't it? Unfortunately.
Yeah, it was a sort of typical Moyes away performance. Like definitely not a smash and grab kind of one, but you know, as you say, get an early goal, get the lead, and then defend it, and then once the other teams start pushing players forward to try and get an equaliser, make the most of it, as Barry did with the second one, to sort of kill the game off kind of thing. And you know, that's Moyes' bread and butter. Like he'll have his team drilled for that kind of result every week, and yeah, it's got them up to 8th at this point. Like they're
it's crazy, that, isn't it? Like, I know they had the good home run to begin with, but you just don't expect Everton to be that high up. But yeah, it just makes sense, because every time I think in the seasons, they got off to a good start, didn't they? Then they dropped a little bit, but then, yeah, in my head, it's just, I feel like they should be more mid-table than they are.
I think they are a mid-table team, and I think they are like really balanced at the moment. Like they like, if I look at their goal scored versus goal against, it's 20-20. Like they've won 8 games, they've drawn 4 and lost 7, sort of thing. There's a real sort of balance about their results, and they go through dips in form. Like in their last 5, they lost 2 games, but they've won 2 and they've drawn 1, sort of thing. So like there's a real sort of like mid-table, like 10th place finish about this Everton team. Like don't feel like they've got enough in the tank to break into one of those European spots at the end of the season, but it will still be, I think, a successful season to build on from an Everton point of view.
Yeah, I think anything when you're moving into a new stadium as well, you're kind of worried you're going to have that dip in form or that bad season with it, and that you're going to end up in the Championship with a good stadium. But I think with them, they've shown it really well. They've made that place a bit of a fortress, even though like having been early in the season, not seeing like the atmosphere the same anywhere close to what it was at Goodison. But I can still see that building over the years because the Everton fans are quite good at stuff like that. But yeah, anything else you want to touch on that game? Or should we go into the Pen Galores game at the London Stadium?
Lastly, that James Tarkowski should have scored one of his headers. He had two glorious chances from set pieces, and yeah, he absolutely has to put one of them away.
Yeah, you'd expect it, weren't you? Like, one of them is literally just like nodded down straight and it goes in. Like, so unlucky with those.
Cool. Let's move on to my crazy Tuesday night at the London Stadium. West Ham 2, Brighton 2. Desmond, I called it.
You did call it, but my God, it was just a crazy 30 minutes with just crazy first half with pens and goals, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, there was about 15-minute spell after Brighton's first penalty. The ref kind of just lost control.
Like that watching it in the pub, yeah.
Yeah, like being at the game, I was just like, it was just like, I'm not saying that the penalty decisions are all correct. It took him VAR to give the West Ham one, which was crazy because Lewis Dunker's literally gone into goalkeeper mode to try and save that. But it felt like before that, it just felt like the ref had lost it. Like West Ham go 1-0 up with a goal that is very, very reminiscent of the Conference League final, like replica goal, like Paqueta, just like passing it through Bowen, running last man, and just knocks it into the far post over the goalkeeper, sort of thing. It was like eerily reminiscent of that Fiorentina winner a couple years ago.
Really, that's the blueprint I think you have to score against Brighton. Though we've seen it happen so many times. You put that ball in between their back line and the keeper, and their two centre backs ain't got the pace really to keep up with people running in behind. And yeah, I think we didn't see Palace do it, but yeah, we've seen it a number of times, haven't we? And I think it's that blueprint. You just got to play against Brighton if you're coming up against them.
Yeah, it's a high line versus pace. And Bowen's not the fastest, but he's scrappy and he'll run quickly with the ball. Like he's not a pace merchant sort of thing, but he'll outrun Van Hecker or Dunk on most days. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Like they exposed the high line. At first I thought it was probably offside, but timed his run really well, sort of thing. And then Brighton were the better team in this game completely. They won every single second ball in the match. It was really frustrating to see because it was just like West Ham would win a header and the ball would land to a Brighton player, and it was just like, guys, come on, like you need to be following the second ball. Like you can't just let it keep getting back to them and getting back to them.
That's exactly what you don't want when you're in a relegation battle either, is it? Like you want to be like, oh, I can see them putting their all in. I can see them going for everything. Not, oh yeah, we're just going to give it up to Brighton every time, or give it up to the opposition every single time. Yeah.
And football fans can be quite simplistic at times, and we just want to see the effort and the hustle being shown, and like the fight. And there was fight in this game. Like Ollie Scholes bounced back from his error against Fulham really well. Like he was up and down on the left flank, like putting in tackles, making loads of clearances and stuff, and gave it his all, which was great to see. But yeah, we'll talk about this 15-minute spell where the ref lost his mind. So the first one is definitely a penalty. Max Kilman's an absolute muppet. Like
there's an argument
what was it? A few weeks ago, he went to ground and gave away a handball, and it's just like, Max, come on, don't go to ground in the box.
Yeah, I mean, they always say that Minter was maybe going down, but I mean, I looked at it, I thought it was a definite pen, and I'm probably the most biased person against Brighton as it's going to get. So,
like he's definitely going down. He's definitely looking for it, but it's contact.
The leg out and made contact, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's contact, and the player's gone down. Like they're going to give it every day of the week, whether Minter has wanted it or not. Like it's a penalty, unfortunately. And then that was the good well-wet penalty. Absolutely smashes it away from Areola.
Great penalty. Yeah. Then second one, you got any problems with the second penalty?
No, I mean I didn't see it at the time because obviously it's because where I'm stood, it was like on the other end, like it was through all the body of the players, so like I couldn't see it in real time. So I was just furious in real time, being like, how have you given another penalty 2 minutes later? And then you watch it back and you go like, it's a bit of a rugby tackle, isn't it?
Mate, it's the most textbook rugby tackle you ever see. Like, this is when I was learning to play rugby. It's like what you're taught. Get your head like on their hip and like grab them by the legs and take them down. There's no hope, is there? Like I was looking at it the first time I saw it. I was like, oh yeah, Dunk's dived or something like that. Like I really wanted to be like, yeah, let's go against Dunk with this one. But I was like, even I can go leg to stand on that. Is the most clear penalty you're probably going to see all season.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely clear penalty, and then bad Welbeck penalty. He tries to do a Panenka, which he clearly didn't learn from Ademola Lookman. Don't try Panenkas at the London Stadium; they do not work. Hits the crossbar, and then I think Carl Walker-Peters is who comes in and gets it clear after he sort of swipes at the rebound. But then the ref,
seeing your rival miss a Panenka is just it's perfect.
I know you were loving. I knew you were loving it. But then the ref definitely points to the spot for a retake, and this bit like goes to like the ref losing his head for about 15 minutes because I watched him and he absolutely points at the spot, says like retake, and then I think his lino says no, it's not a retake, and then that's when the melee happens because Mateus Fernandes goes up to celebrate with Areola. Welbeck takes it personally and has a really pathetic response and acts like he's the big man in the situation, and just really weird from Welbeck. He should have just walked away from the situation, and then there's like a player melee and then about 10 minutes later up the other end of the pitch.
Well, no, before we get there, I thought the ref was blowing because Welbeck can't touch it, can he? After it's hit the post, and he does not need to touch another player before he can actually.
I don't think so. I thought he could touch it unless they've changed that rule.
I don't know. I thought the rule is if another player has to touch it after you've taken the penalty. So because it wasn't saved and it's come back, because it hit the post and came back, then he can't touch it again. I might be making that rule up for all I know, but I feel like that's one.
Well, we'll have to look into that because I have no. I didn't know that was a rule.
Okay, you talk about the third pen, which okay. I would agree was definitely a pen as well. Whilst I did all that.
So the ball goes up the other end. Ollie Scars has a shot that ends up at Callum Wilson's feet. He then takes a shot. Lewis Dunk is about 5 yards away from him and puts his hands up like he is Bert Verbruggen. And then the ref doesn't give anything. And Callum Wilson is just like screaming and jumping. And then the ball goes out to like the halfway line and Max Kilman does an absolutely amazing clearance header. Yes, he wipes out, I think it was Mente, but the Brighton response to that was just, again, quite pathetic. Like, and it was never a free kick because like Kilman's just actually cleared the ball with a header. But then that break in play allows the ref to realise that he's a muppet, and eventually, after dragging his feet, took him so long to walk over to the VAR screen, gives the penalty because Lewis Dunk has tried to play volleyball, and that's not the game we're playing, Lewis Dunk. So
mate, it's proper
eventually goes up.
Save, isn't it? Like legs.
It's a great goalkeeper save.
Hands out.
It's like Luis Suarez in the World Cup. Like yes, if you were a goalkeeper, that'd be great, mate. But you're not. You're not allowed to use your hands. So yeah, well, Paqueta lines up and takes the longest penalty run up you'll ever see. But he slots it home, makes it 2-2.
How funny would it be if he had done up an anchor and scored? That would have been like so funny. But yeah, no, I checked that rule, and yeah, the kicker can't touch a ball again until another opposition player or one of his teammates has touched it. So that's what I think happened. Because I think Welbeck got a second swipe at it, didn't he? And that's what I think the ref was blowing up for. But yeah, and then I mean Paqueta gets the goal, which he should have done Panenka for, I think. But yeah, busy first half. Then Brighton get the equaliser in the second half. Any complaints with the goal?
Not really. Areola just does this at corners sometimes. Like he's just not quite strong enough in commanding his area. Like I could sit here and say that it's probably a foul on him by, I think it was Van Hecker, who's just sort of like leaning back into him, but it would be super soft, and it would be one of those where they're just protecting goalkeepers a bit too much, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think absolute tapping from Veltman.
Yeah, I was looking for a reason for it not to be given, but I was like, there's nothing in there. Like, it's just a bit of a flap and a bit of a parry from Areola, ain't it? But yeah, I think after that, it was kind of all, would you agree, it's all Brighton? Areola's pulled in to make a couple of saves here and there, but I feel like he's happy getting away with the point by the end of it. Yeah,
well, sort of quite soon after the goal, there's a Bowen chance that is like, that's really, really close. And then Nuno takes off Callum Wilson at about sort of 65, 70 minutes and to a chorus of boos because we're then without a striker, which I understand. Callum Wilson can't play 90 minutes these days, but it just goes to highlight our poor squad planning. It does sound like we've got 2 strikers on their way in, Castellanos from Lazio and Pablo from Hill at Vicente in Portugal. They're both under 30, so I'll take it. Like, the bar is pretty low, and at least Nuno is having a stab at trying to get players in early and that. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the transfer market, and hopefully we do get a couple of strikers in, and hopefully one of them has the power to rid West Ham of the curse of strikers, but we'll see. But then, yeah, Mitoma came on for Brighton and showed his quality. He's been out for a few months with an ankle injury, so I'm sure Brighton fans are very happy that he's back on the pitch now. But yeah, Brighton definitely with a stronger team towards the end, and West Ham were absolutely holding on for a point. And, you know, if we hadn't lost that Fulham game, even if we'd got a point out of that, I probably would have been a little bit happier. But the fact that we went ahead twice in this one, yes, okay, we got a slice of luck with the bad Welbeck penalty. Would have been good to have kept on to 3 points. It really just puts the pressure on Wolves on Saturday and then Forest next Tuesday. So yeah, I'll take the point, but massive matches coming up.
Yeah, we talked about 2 matches ago, didn't we? You get into those games, and if you have 2 bad games against Wolves and Forest, and then have 2 bad games against QPR and Spurs, I don't see how Nuno keeps his job after that, if I'm being honest. So I mean,
it's difficult because then you've given him all of January, and then you bring in a new person who won't be able to make signings really, or have very little time to make signings and that. So yeah, I don't see them making a change. I think they're gonna. Sounds like they're gonna try and back him at least somewhat in the window, with obviously getting a couple strikers in, getting Adama Traore, so at least we've got some sort of depth on the wings, because it's Somerville, Bowen, and then absolutely nothing at the moment. So yeah, hopefully things will turn around, but it's going to be a big week for us.
Yeah, well, as I found out as well, I don't know how true this is, but if you go down, the rent on your stadium goes down, so then London taxpayer is going to have to pull 2 million out of their pocket to make up the difference. Scumbags.
Yeah, so everyone should want us to stay up, right?
Absolute scumbaggery, that's it.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. These owners are scumbags. Don't take it out on West Ham fans. Take it out on these absolute frog owners that we've got, who are just leeches off society.
No, I think all West Ham fans should be paying that 2 million taxpayer money, even if they don't live in London. Everyone from Essex, everyone from all round. So we won't need a whip round to sort that out. But yeah, cool. Okay, that's enough on that. I guess let's go to the start of the draws. Oh no, the second 2-2 draw, second Desmond. Chelsea 2, Bournemouth 2. Yeah,
decent performance from Bournemouth in this one. Couple of defensive mistakes, but they capitalised on the long ball chaos twice in this one.
I mean, crazy first 20, and then the game kind of just fizzled out and went all Chelsea towards the end, didn't it? Like you say though, undone by the long throw twice, Chelsea, and yeah, it's kind of easy to see how it's happening. It was just the flick on to the back post for the second one where Kluivert sticks it in, and then Harry Brooks for the first one where he has the double chance to bundle it in and eventually gets it in. Very happy that wasn't straight taken off with VAR for a handball, because that would have been insanely harsh, I think.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised it wasn't, just because of how harsh they are when it's an attacker and it hits his arm. It's usually pretty blanket. No, you don't get to benefit off that. But I too think it was harsh, and was he knew nothing about it. It's not handball. It's just maybe grazed his arm sort of thing.
It's close quarters, and his hands are down by his side. He didn't gain any. I guess he did gain a benefit because it bounced that way, but it wouldn't have been any different if it hit his chest in that situation. It really would have. I feel like I really just contradicted myself on that.
And then the Semenyo penalty on Esteval, I think, is just really accidental. It kind of felt quite harsh. That I don't think it
it's a foul.
It's a penalty. It's probably a penalty.
Yeah, if it happens anywhere else on the pitch, it's a foul. So it's got to be a pen. I don't want Chelsea to be getting a pen, but yeah, the way he nudged it, it's a trip. You just got to accept that one's a pen. And Carl Palmer just sneaks it past the keeper. And then Enzo makes it top bins from inside the box. I mean, it's pretty nice looking finish, even if the defending does leave a bit to be.
Well, yeah, he's sent Alex Scott for a bit of a hot dog there. Like Alex Scott's just kind of just rushed in, thinking he's going to take it, and then he just absolutely glides it past him and smashes it home. And then yeah, there's the Clivert one at 2-2, nipping in at the back post, just completely free. And then yeah, later like there was like as you say, it was mostly Chelsea towards the end of the match, but there was a great chance for NS Unal to win it as well.
Yeah,
Like
right
he
at the
just
end,
kind of
didn't he?
shins it. Yeah,
I felt for him there because that would have been, let's be honest, that probably would have been smash and grab for Bournemouth, but it would have been something Bournemouth desperately need. But they did end up they were, well, how many games without a win now? Are we looking at 6, 7 games without a win? It's not great, but I still think going to Stamford Bridge and getting a point at this point in Christmas as well is probably a good point to be walking away with. But you got to worry a bit if all of the rumours about Semenyo are true and if he is going to be gone. I mean, we've gone past the 1st of January and he's still there, so maybe there's a bit more hope. When does the release clause finish? I think the 6th of Jan. So I think a lot of Bournemouth fans might be praying right now.
it seems like he's gone. Like I think it's a matter of time before that's announced, unfortunately. But yeah, no, I think a good point for Bournemouth on the road, but you know they're going to need to start looking for wins again. Like I think it's 10 games in all competitions where they've not won, so they need to be arresting that soon.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. Should we move on to the game at Selhurst Park, the Palace Fulham game? I wasn't actually at this one for once because I went to Leighton Orient in the day and I gave my tickets to family members who are over to watch the game, but caught up on the highlights when I got back. I mean, I'm just happy we didn't lose, stop the rot. So was it only 3 games in a row where we lost? Yeah, it just didn't seem like a good game from what I hear in the first half and what I saw. Good, the Matetas managed to get the first goal of 2026 from Nathaniel Klein running it back, sending, I think it was Robinson for a hot dog and then putting in a lovely cross for Mateta to put it home. And I think this kind of just followed the format of a lot of our games recently where get the lead, had quite a few chances, but then get to that last 20, completely run out of steam, bring on subs that make us a lot weaker, and then just, yeah, have it seem like Fulham were probably just running at us for the last 20. And Kenny gets an absolute unstoppable goal to make it 1-1, and we probably should end up losing, if not 2-1, 3-1, because Jimenez misses a good opportunity, and then Joachim Andersen has a chance to do it against us and get some revenge and just skies it.
It's the Castagna one, I think you mean, instead of
Castagna,
Jimenez.
Yeah,
It's like yeah, it's like the last player I think Fulham fans wanted it to fall to was Castagna. Like I think well maybe Anderson because he also blazed his over the bar, but the shot from Castagna is just way too close to Henderson. That you need it's a great reaction save from Henderson, but you need to get some sort of placement on that into one of the corners or down low kind of thing. It's it's a great save, but it's right in Henderson's range to be able to save that. And then yeah, Anderson just blazes over the bar like a proper centre back shot. Leaning back, got under it, and just scooped it over. But yeah, Tom Kearney was influential when he came on. Absolute stunning goal, really really nice. You're right. Fulham got stronger as the game went on. Palace sort of tired as they have been doing so in recent weeks.
You could see even in the highlights, there's just stupid little mistakes that crept in throughout where it's we're not clearing our lines, or if we are, we're getting a miss hit on it. Which one was it? For the Anderson one, it is. I think it's JD Campbell who's looking to cross it, but he just knees it straight into the path of Anderson. And then there's just other bits where it's we have if everyone's fit, then hopefully those things aren't happening. We're not missing key players that can relieve some of the press in the last minute. But I'm not using that as an excuse. We knew how many games we had to play. We didn't bring people in the summer. Maybe bringing Brendan Johnson in is going to make a bit of a difference because it'll give us more of an attacking threat up top. But it's a right back we need. We need someone that can play in Munoz's place when he's not there. Because as much as I love Klein, he's not Munoz. Let's be honest.
He's definitely not Munoz, but I think he's done an admirable job in Munoz's place. I don't think there was I don't think there were any high expectations from Klein, and I think he's done well enough that as a backup. And but before this period of absence from Munoz, he'd pretty much played every single game since he joined the club. Like, absolute Iron Man. Like,
all Palace fans had been like, not joking, but like warily joking about that time when it's like, yeah, what's going to happen when Munoz gets injured? Because as soon as he gets injured, that's our whole game plan or whole attack kind of gone. Because it is completely blunted now. Because there's times when he's the one who's like the third winger, running up with Mateta, with Saab, being in those positions and like stretching a team. Because that's what we need. And I mean, Klein has done much better than I thought he would. Club legend for us as well. But you can just see that when we're now relying on Mitchell to be the one who's getting forward and getting back and putting the balls in, even though Klein does put the ball in this game, it's just something that is missing with it. And yeah, I think we're going to suffer until Munoz gets back. But I was happy to get a point out of this. I think the record with Palace and Fulham for the last few years is whoever is the away team wins the game. So for us to just come away with like a point with this game, I was happy.
Yeah, I think it was a fair draw for both teams as well. They both had their moments, they both had their chances, and it really felt like two very, very even teams. Like, it's no surprise that you're 10th, they're 11th, both on 27 points. You've got +1 goal difference, they've got -1. Like the two teams feel very, very well matched at the moment. Like, you beat them 2-1 recently. That could have definitely been a draw. That was like a almost smash and grab at the end kind of thing. This one's obviously a draw. Like, these are two teams who probably going to be in that sort of 8th to 12th range at the end of the season. Like, they seem like firmly sort of mid-table teams.
Yeah, I think Fulham have been on a good run. I think they probably deserved a draw, like you say, a draw out of both the games we played against them. But yeah, the 3 wins in the last 4 unbeaten. They had a good Christmas to really get out of any sense of trouble that I think we were slowly talking about them maybe like sleepwalking towards the relegation zone. But
yeah, I mean, 10 points in the last 4 games has taken them from 17 to 27. Like, 17 would have had them 17th sort of thing. So they've completely changed their form around and can now sleep easy at night, Fulham fans.
Yeah, 100%. Cool. That's everything I've got for that game, unless you want to pick anything else out. Nah.
No, happy with Brennan Johnson coming in?
For money, and if his salary would be a little bit lower than what it was at Spurs, then yeah, I guess. I mean, us doing business early in the window makes me happy. I know he's not got playing time at Spurs, and when I have seen him play at Spurs, he's not done too much apart from winning a European Cup, I guess. But at Forest, I've always loved him as a player. I was really hoping he'd come to us at some points when we were linked with him before whilst he was at Forest. So, yeah, I mean, if he's spoken to Glasner and Glasner's wants him there, it's another person that can play in that number 10 role when Sarr's not there. It's an option instead of using Pino when Sarr is back as well. So, yeah, I can't really complain with it. Seems like a smart deal all round.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit more versatile than Eddie Nketiah, so I think he could play in any of those front 3 positions kind of thing. And yeah, I think the fee might be a little bit steep, but he is like in his prime sort of thing, so you can understand why it is. And yeah, I think he's a decent sign, and it's just going to be interesting when everyone is fit and available, like how they, like, obviously you've got loads of games, so the sort of game management will get easier bringing someone like that in. But yeah,
that's what I was thinking. But 35 mil is, I think you could say it's steep, but I mean, Spurs paid 50 mil from 2 years ago, and he's proven Premier League player. I think 30 mil is just like the baseline for a proven Premier League player now, isn't it? Do you not agree or no?
Well, I how much did Spurs pay for him before?
Like 50 odd mil. I think they're doing like.
Oh, I thought it was way cheaper than that. I thought it was like 20 mil. Maybe that's why I was like, it feels like a lot, because I was like, I swear he went for like 20 mil a few, just like to Spurs, but
mate, they paid 47.5 million for him.
Oh, okay, then yeah, 35 mil was a bargain then. Yeah, you've pants Spurs there.
Well, it's weird that they're letting him go, isn't it? Like, even if Thomas Frank doesn't fancy him, you'd think like keep him just in the hope that maybe they'll play him, but yeah, God knows. Anyway, cool. Okay, should we move on to United Wolves 1-1? Wolves get their first point since October.
Yeah, massive result for Wolves. Like, obviously it doesn't help a lot in the grand scheme of things, but stop the rot.
What are you talking about? The miracle is about to start, mate. It's all.
Maybe it will.
They're going to win every single game to the end of the season now and stay up.
I mean, the gap is not even that much. It's 15 points. Like,
I think it fit in there. 15 points.
I mean, 15 points is a lot, but like it is not like out of the possibilities. Like,
Don't. Okay, are you going to predict it? It's going to happen. That can be your midsummer
No,
prediction.
no. And maybe I'm just trying to cope.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think Wolves were decent in this one. I think I finally saw some life in attack, like
Okay.
patterns of play, directness. Like I saw what they were trying to do for
I
once.
when I was making notes, I was like, oh, it looks like they got a bit more bite to them. But in all honesty, like I guess before Rob Edwards came in, we could say like they did have a bit of bite in games, and they were in games. They were just not winning them or getting anything out of them. Then in that period when he's come in, I think there's obviously been a bit of a change and everything, and it's been like trying to find like it all again. And yeah, I think you're right. They did look like they had something a bit more threatening about them in this game. They go down 1-0 to a big deflection. A bit unlucky, if I'm being honest. I don't think they deserve to
Yeah,
be 1 down. And then, what was it, 1-1 from the lovely header from Cherky? I pronounced that
Krejci.
right. Krejci.
Krejci,
God damn it.
Krejci, yeah. Made
Krejci.
amends for a hit, made amends because he was the one who got the massive deflection for United's goal. So decent header from him.
Really, that's like a proper Benteke Lukaku type of header, like curling it into the far post. But yeah, yeah. I mean, Saar manages to make a massive recovery save, stop it being 2-1.
Yeah, from Matt Doherty, like almost own goal. Like
Yeah,
that was incredible. Like goal line clearance from Jose Sarr.
it was
My
like
one
that
take, my
Roy
one take
Carroll
about
moment.
Wolves, my one take about Wolves is that I think Tolu Arokodare is going to score 20 goals in the Championship if he stays.
He,
Like he
he looks
looks
a menace,
good.
doesn't he?
He looks good. Like he gets about. Like he looks like he's like strong. He's fast. I just don't know if I think he's just too raw for the Premier League right now. I think if he stays, if they go down and he stays, then I could see him scoring 20 goals down there.
No, he just looks like a unit that is just madness in a ball, like a massive Yannick Bolasie almost type of like
It's
what madness
like
are you gonna do?
like one of those that like if you go up for a header with him, you're going to come down with a bruise,
Yeah,
like
exactly that.
somewhere on your body. Like you're after a battle with him, you're gonna end up bruised. But yeah, uh, they survived an offside goal after Sarr saved a shot from Seshko. So they got out of there. They rode their luck at times, but they also probably deserved a point from this match.
Yeah, literally took the notes out of what written down. The only final thing I've said is you were praying they'd get their first win against United. You know their first win's coming next week against you guys. Well, not even the next week.
Saturday,
Yes, sir.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. It's coming. You best be ready.
Yeah, it's definitely coming, and I am absolutely going to predict it with no ulterior motive. So,
Love that. Cool. Okay. Then last game with any goals in it. Arsenal 4, Villa 1. For my notes, I've got we don't want to talk about it. Villa fans probably don't want to talk about it. True. I think the only thing to really question about this game is: do you think it's a foul on Martinez for the first goal from the corner?
I feel like it is a little bit like yeah. I mean, this one was a little bit more of a foul than the Areola Van Hecke one from earlier. Like, I think this one is a bit more. Gabriel has got his elbow in sort of in and around Martinez's face,
Yeah.
and like that, and like it's clearly sort of like using his strength on Martinez to put him off. Probably would have been soft to have
Yeah.
called it for a foul, but in years gone past, we've seen like whenever if you even touched a referee,
They
it
blow
was
up for
a
the
penalty.
foul.
It was
Yeah.
a penalty. It was a foul. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I was a bit surprised that they didn't call
I was
this one, but
I was a bit surprised, but I was looking. It was like if that wasn't given for my team, I'd be pretty annoyed with it. But I think I mean, Martinez is kind of known for flapping at corners and crosses as well. So I think maybe that could be in the back of the referee's head for it. But yeah, after that, Villa kind of fall apart a bit. Really, I guess they're trying to look at a goal against Arsenal. Arsenal show a bit of quality, and then Watkins gets the consolation at the end. But yeah, it's probably a hard one to take for all the Villa fans that went down to London. Saw a lot of them in London because I was going around a few pubs that day as well, and you could tell they'll bounce in. Bit of a reality check, unfortunately, isn't it?
well, I think the hard thing for them to take is that they had multiple chances to go 1-0 up. There was like one Watkins chance that was fluffed. That it was great work by Conte, like pressured. I think it was Zubimendi made the wrong pass. I think he should have gone to Rodgers on the right rather than Watkins on the left. Watkins wasn't really body positioned to open his body up right, and he scuffs it and it goes wide. Sancho and Watkins almost teamed up for a goal before half time that was
Yeah.
offside, and Saliba got a touch on it. But then, yeah, I feel Villa fans will be frustrated that they were in the game at 0-0 and they had chances to go up. But once Arsenal got that goal, Villa just couldn't cope with them for a period of time. And it was 4-0 before they even really got back down the other end. And they eventually got that consolation from Watkins from a yard out. But yeah, they created plenty in this match, Villa. The scoreline is more about that like 20-30 minute period where they just had no control over the game and lost to a quality opposition sort of thing. So a frustrating one. I think it goes to show what I mentioned Emery say last week about the title race. Like, it's still way too early. I think that is like proven to sort of his point, that is like Villa's goal this season is still to get into the Champions League. They're not really thinking about a title race yet, and yes, this is a blow to it, but it kind of just goes to highlight also the quality of the opposition they're up against.
Yeah, no, 100%, and yeah, I'm sure Villa will bounce back from this as well. They've been too good a team for too long now to be in a position where one result like this knocks their whole season or knocks their whole form for a bit. Do you agree?
Yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah, I think we'll see them bounce back, and with no selfish reasons, I hope it's tomorrow against Nottingham Forest. But
oh, love it. Cool. Okay.
Let's go sad 0-0 corner roundup. Sunderland 0, Man City 0. This was a great game. I have no idea how it ended 0-0. There were so many chances, so many tackles. This was a classic 0-0. Liverpool Leeds 0-0. An excellent away performance from Leeds, ground out a really valuable point. They had chances. Ampadu almost caught everyone out. Calvert-Lewin got it in the back of the net, but was rightfully ruled offside. And then Brentford 0, Tottenham 0 was an absolute snooze fest, and Christian Romero should have been sent off, and Brentford should have probably would have gone on to win that game because they were the better team.
I mean, there's a couple of I think there's good points for almost all those teams in. I think they'll all be happy. Well, probably apart from City, they'll all be happy to take a point from there and just move on. Would you agree?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the big teams probably disappointed the big six teams, but yeah, the other 14 teams I think are just happy with a point and move on in this busy period.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. Okay. Let's go into our predictions then for this. Well, literally tomorrow. Fucking madness. There's too much football at the moment. Yeah. Let's go. Saturday, 12:30 kickoff, Villa Forest. I think Villa bounce back straight away and they get a 3-1 win here.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just wondering whether I want to try and curse Forest by backing them.
Scumbag, absolute scumbag behaviour.
I'm gonna go 1-1 and hope that I'm wrong and Villa win.
Goddamn. Cool. Brighton Burnley at the Amex 3:00 kickoff. I mean, as much as I think Burnley have kept themselves in games, I think this is a step too far for them. I could see a Brighton 2-0.
Yeah, I'm going 3-1 Brighton.
Yeah, I think Brighton will probably turn it on, won't they? Cool. Wolves West Ham.
Go and do it. I know you want to do it.
I want to predict Wolves to win, but I can't see it. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be the worst game of the season. It's going to be 0-0.
I'm praying that Nuno comes out on top in the Nuno derby, but I think it's going to be. I think I'm going to go 2-1 West Ham and hope that I'm right.
God, you're going to be absolutely praying for that, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not doing the pod if we lose, by the way. So find someone else.
Cool. Bournemouth Arsenal 5:30 late kickoff on a Saturday. I'm going to predict a Bournemouth 1-0. Semenyo to score and be his last act in a Bournemouth shirt.
Damn, you're going to look embarrassed when he leaves at 5 p.m. today.
Yeah.
when this gets released. I think Bournemouth will score, but I just think Arsenal will have too much for them. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Arsenal win.
Fair. Cool. Then moving on to Sunday games. The early kickoff. Leeds United. What's that? The Lancashire derby. I'm sure that's going to be a feisty affair. I'm going to go with Leeds actually winning this, I think. I think Leeds are going to win 2-1.
I'm going to go weekly Desmond, 2-2.
Nice. Cool. Everton, Brentford. Oof, that's a hard one to predict. I don't think there's going to be many goals in it. I'm going to go Everton just to sneak at 1-0.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Everton at home, Brentford away, Everton 1-0.
Yeah, cool. Fulham, Liverpool, Craven Cottage. It's another hard one, actually. I think I might go for a Desmond here. I might go for a 2-2.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I agree that I think there'll be goals. I'm thinking I'm going to back Fulham to win 3-2.
Yeah, that's the thing. Feel like Liverpool have found form, but Fulham have also got form, and at home I think they can really do anything against the top six side. Cool. Another 3 o'clock, Newcastle Palace. I won't be going to that one because I've decided going to go to the Sunderland one at the end of the month instead. I couldn't really justify 2 trips up all the way up there. 4-0 Newcastle. I feel like it's got written all over it. Yeah. We don't do well when we go play Newcastle. Maybe I'm just like scarred from, I think it was this last year, it was the 4-0 where Ebbs misses the penalty. The year before, I think we got a draw, but the year before that it was a 4-0 as well. So yeah, I've never got good memories of that up there.
Right. All right. On that basis, I'm going to go 3-1 Newcastle.
3-1, yeah. I just think we're depleted. They're going to be a bit buoyed by that Burnley one. I just don't think we travel well up there at all. Cool. Spurs Sunderland at the London Stadium. I can only really see a Sunderland win here. Does that mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Hotspur Stadium.
Your favourite place, the Hotspur Stadium,
This
the
is
toilet bowl.
What you get with these awful fucking stadium names. They're just generic and bullshit.
Okay, we're at Selhurst Park that isn't in Selhurst, like. Yeah, I mean, I think this bodes well for Sunderland. I think they can go play the game exactly how they want, give Tottenham the ball, and then batter them on the counter. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Sunderland win.
Yeah, I feel like Sunderland have got that, and they're going to be absolutely flying going into New Year. Cool. That's all the games then for, tomorrow and Sunday. I think we've got those, and then we have a break of the FA Cup after that, so you won't have to...
Well, no, we've got midweek next week, mate.
Oh, shit, yeah. We've got Villa, haven't we? Oh, my God. Sorry, listeners, you're going to have to listen to us say the same thing again.
There's a break coming soon, I promise. We won't do an FA Cup special.
No, we won't be.
Give you all a break.
Cool, but anyway, feel free to rate and review the podcast, tell your friends. First on socials at Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Reddit at Other14FC Podcast, and email in at other14fcpodcast@gmail.com. Like we're saying, any content you give us is going to help us and differentiate everything because, we're running out of things to say about the football because there's so much of it. But cool. Hope everyone had a good New Year's, and let's look forward to it. Hopefully exciting year for the other 14 FC. But I'll catch you in a couple of days then, Tom.
Cheers.
Good.